In the memory of the martyr Abdelkarim al-Khattabi, Globetrotter Media presents The Clash at Annual, a turning point in the Rif War. The Battle of Annual marked a tragic prelude in the Rif War, setting the stage for one of Spain's most devastating military defeats. This confrontation stemmed from colonial tensions in Morocco, where Spanish ambitions clashed dramatically with local resistance, igniting a fierce struggle for control. Spain's colonial designs on Morocco were fueled by a desire to expand its empire and counterbalance French influence in the region. The presence of Spanish forces, however, met stiff resistance from local tribes who viewed their efforts as an encroachment on sovereignty and traditional ways of life. At the heart of the Moroccan resistance was Abdelkarim el-Khattabi, a charismatic leader from the Rif region. His rise to power was meteoric, driven by a deep understanding of guerrilla warfare and a unifying vision for the Rifian people. Under his leadership, the resistance transformed into a formidable force. The strategic importance of Annual lay in its location, serving as a gateway for Spanish forces into the Rif heartland. Control over this area would not only solidify Spanish presence, but also enable a deeper penetration into territories held by the fiercely independent Rif tribes. The outbreak of the Battle of Annual in July 1921 marked a turning point in the conflict. Spanish ambitions were abruptly challenged, setting the stage for a confrontation that would ripple through history, reshaping the course of the Rif War and leaving a lasting legacy of resistance. The Spanish forces at Annual were ill-prepared for the intensity of combat they would face. Commanded by General Manuel Fernández Silvestre, their strategy hinged on offensive assaults without adequate defensive fortifications, underestimating the Rifians' capability and resolve. Abdelkarim el-Khattabi's tactics were revolutionary, incorporating guerrilla warfare and superior intelligence to exploit the terrain and the element of surprise. The Rifians, adept in local geography and agile in combat, contrasted sharply with the conventional approach of the Spanish troops. The initial assault marked a turning point in the Rif War. Abdelkarim's forces launched a meticulously planned attack on Spanish positions, overwhelming them with agility and coordination. This marked the beginning of a series of events leading to the fall of Annual. As the Spanish defensive lines crumbled, panic ensued among the ranks. The Rifian forces, seizing the moment, pushed forward with relentless pressure. The fall of Annual became inevitable as Spanish command lost control, signaling a disastrous defeat for Spain. The aftermath was chaotic for the Spanish, marked by a disorganized retreat. The Rifians pursued aggressively, exploiting their momentum. This phase underscored the devastating impact of underestimating the enemy and the critical importance of preparedness and strategic planning in warfare. The massacre at Monte Arui represents one of the bloodiest chapters in the Battle of Annual, marking a tragic end for Spanish troops. Surrounded and besieged, the Spanish forces, weakened by hunger and disease, eventually surrendered, hoping for mercy. However, the aftermath was grim, with a significant number of soldiers meeting a brutal fate, underscoring the ferocity of the conflict and the profound desperation on both sides. The use of technology and weaponry in the battle played a pivotal role, with both sides employing strategies that reflected their resources and technical capabilities. The Spanish army, equipped with modern firearms and artillery, faced Rifian forces who leveraged guerrilla tactics and intimate knowledge of the terrain to their advantage. This mismatch not only defined the battle's dynamics, but also highlighted the evolving nature of warfare in the early 20th century. Terrain and climate significantly influenced combat strategies during the Battle of Annual. The rugged landscape of the Rif Mountains provided a natural fortress for Abdelkarim el-Khattabi's forces, enabling effective guerrilla warfare. Meanwhile, the harsh climate exacerbated the challenges faced by the Spanish, complicating supply lines and weakening troop morale, ultimately contributing to their downfall. Psychological warfare was another critical aspect, with both sides attempting to undermine the morale of their opponents. The Riffians, adept at guerrilla tactics, also excelled in spreading fear and uncertainty among Spanish ranks, using their intimate knowledge of the landscape to launch surprise attacks. This psychological pressure, coupled with the tangible losses on the battlefield, severely impacted Spanish morale, contributing significantly to their eventual retreat. The international reaction to the Battle of Annual was mixed, with widespread shock and condemnation of the violence and the high casualty rate. In Europe, the battle was seen as a stark reminder of the brutal realities of colonial warfare, leading to increased scrutiny of colonial policies. Meanwhile, the Riffian victory became a symbol of resistance against colonial oppression, inspiring anti-colonial movements across the globe. This global attention further isolated Spain diplomatically, intensifying the internal and external pressures it faced in the war's aftermath. The Battle of Annual sent shockwaves through Spain, igniting political turmoil and public outcry. The devastating defeat and subsequent losses highlighted the military's unpreparedness, leading to a national reckoning. This event catalyzed significant shifts in Spanish politics and military strategy. In the wake of the tragedy, the Rif Republic emerged as a symbol of resistance and brief independence. Abdelkrim el-Khattabi's leadership during this period left a lasting legacy, demonstrating the possibility of indigenous resistance against colonial powers, albeit short-lived due to external pressures. Spanish military reforms post-Annual were swift and focused on addressing the glaring deficiencies exposed by the Rif War. These reforms aimed at modernizing the armed forces, introducing new tactics, and improving the morale and preparedness of the troops to prevent future debacles. The use of chemical warfare marked a dark turn in the Rif War, reflecting the desperation and moral boundaries crossed in attempts to subdue the Riffian resistance. This controversial strategy left a lasting stain on the conflict's legacy, raising ethical questions and international condemnation. The role of foreign powers in the Rif War added layers of complexity to the conflict, with various countries either directly or indirectly influencing the outcome. International diplomacy and intrigue played crucial roles, with foreign interests often overshadowing the aspirations of the local population. The Battle of Annual has stirred the imagination of artists and writers, becoming a poignant subject in literature and art. Its dramatic unfolding and tragic outcomes have been captured in vivid paintings, evocative poems, and novels that delve into the human aspects of war. In Spain and Morocco, the historical memory of the Battle of Annual is complex and multifaceted. While it serves as a somber reminder of colonial ambitions and resistance, it also highlights the bravery and sacrifice of individuals on both sides of the conflict. Military strategists have long analyzed the Battle of Annual, seeking to understand the Spanish defeat. Key factors include underestimation of the Riffian forces, inadequate logistics, and the failure to adapt to guerrilla warfare tactics, which led to a devastating loss for the Spanish army. The human cost of the Battle of Annual was staggering, with thousands of lives lost on both sides. The aftermath saw not only the military casualties, but also a significant impact on civilian populations, whose lives were forever changed by the conflict. Media coverage played a crucial role in shaping perceptions of the Battle of Annual. Reports and photographs brought the harsh realities of the war into homes around the world, influencing public opinion and, in some cases, policy decisions regarding the conflict. The Battle of Annual is a critical case study in military education, highlighting the complexities of asymmetric warfare. It underscores the importance of understanding local terrain, culture, and tactics, which can drastically alter the outcomes of conflicts, even against technologically superior forces. In the aftermath of the Rif War, Spain and Morocco have navigated a complex relationship. The shadow of Annual looms large, influencing diplomatic interactions and agreements. Both nations work towards a delicate balance of acknowledging their shared history while forging a future partnership. Popular culture has played a significant role in keeping the memory of the Battle of Annual alive. Films, books, and games explore its themes, introducing new generations to the conflict. This media not only entertains but educates, providing insights into the human aspects of war. Reflecting on the Battle of Annual reveals broader lessons for the modern world. It serves as a reminder of the harsh realities of colonialism, the potential for underestimation in conflict, and the enduring spirit of resistance among oppressed peoples. The Battle of Annual continues to be a poignant reminder of the human cost of war. Casualties, both military and civilian, underscore the tragedy that unfolds when diplomatic avenues fail. This history challenges us to seek peaceful resolutions and understand the deep impacts of conflict. May God bless the soul of the martyr Abdelkarim al-Khattabi.